Today it's a chatty get ready with me as I put together a spring makeup look and try some new products to see if they're a good fit for us over 50 gals. That's coming up next. Welcome back, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50 where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman. Today I'm doing a chatty get ready with me featuring this look, and today I'm asking you some questions. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you'll consider subscribing and make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. I've got some new makeup I'm trying today. I'm bringing out some old favorites that I used from last summer to see if I'm still loving this and putting together this look. As always, all products that I talk about today will be listed and linked below, and they'll also be over on the blog, so super easy for you to find. And with that, let's get into it. My face is all prepped with my serums and moisturizers and of course my sunscreen. Today on my lips I'm going to use this Hanalei lip treatment. Have you heard about this? I honestly think that this is going to be a dupe or a runner-up for Laneige. It's so luxurious and feels so good on your lips. So it has just a little squeezy tube here, and I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out and put that on my lips. I really like to moisturize my lips while I'm putting my makeup on because it makes my lipstick application just so much better. Then of course I can get it all over my coffee cup. For eyeshadow primer today I'm going to be using the Milani of a fresh new tube, so I'm excited about that. So I can hear the birds chirping outside. It really is spring where I live. I'll have to say that with everything slowed down, the wildlife is so much more apparent now. It really is fun to see. Oh, and I did my eyebrows before I jumped on camera. Today I used the Thrive eyebrow pencil. I really like this. It has one of those tiny, tiny little pencils on it that makes the strokes really, really thin. For face primer, I'm going to be using this Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Face Primer. I haven't used this. This is obviously just a little sample tube, so I'm trying it out to see how I like it. It comes out almost like a clear color, and it feels a whole lot like the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Primer. I don't know if you've ever used that, but it has kind of that slight silicone slip to it. So I'm just going to put that around my T-zone area of my face. And it says mattifying, so I guess I'll be using a lot of highlight today to get a little glow. With my face primer, I always like to make sure I get a good light coat underneath both my eyes so that my concealer will sit down really nicely. The eyeshadow palette I'm going to be using today is from e.l.f. and it's from their Mad for Matte collections. I don't know if you've seen these or own one or heard about them. These have been out for a while. They're a 10-pan eyeshadow palette collection, and I think they have a few of them. I know this one is called Summer Breeze, and I believe they have a couple more. I have another one that's more of a neutral palette, but I wanted to use this today because it has some little peachy and purpley tones in here. I wanted to create a spring look. These are dandy little palettes, and the formulas are all matte, which can be really great if you have more mature eyes. Sometimes those shimmery shadows with the glitter and stuff can just accentuate eyelid wrinkles, and a matte shadow really seems to diminish the look of those crinkly eyelids like I have. The formulas are great, and the colors are so sophisticated and just nice and muted and neutral. So I'm going to see what kind of nice spring look I can create with this palette today. I'm going to start off with this soft peach shadow and work that into the transition area. I haven't used this palette, I don't think, since last summer. I'm really curious to see how I like these shadows in comparison to some of the other palettes I've been using lately. Now I'm going to tap into this rosy color right here and put that deep into the crease and into the outside corner of each eye. Just a little bit to add a little bit of depth to the crease and then the outside corner. I like this shadow formula because it's not very heavy, so it doesn't accentuate all the crepiness on my eyelids. It's a very light formula. I know there are some shadows that go on and they're very pigmented and beautiful, but the formula is so heavy that the minute I put them on my eyelids just look a lot worse. So I'm appreciating the lightness of this formula today. Now I'm going to take my flat brush and dip it into this cream color right here, and that's going to go over both movable lids. Just going to tap on a very light coat of that. This is a really pretty color. It's not too white, but it is brightening. I just love working with a good palette. It's a lot like painting, don't you think? Now I'm going to take my blending brush and just blend those colors in together so that there's no hard edges at all. It's just a very smooth transition. Now I'm going to take a more detailed brush and I'm going to tap it into this purple right here. I don't know what the color is. I don't think they've designated colors on this palette, but it's a beautiful plummy purple, and I'm going to put that into the crease and the outside corner of each eye just a little bit to darken up and really add emphasis to that area. And I'm just going to tap it very lightly just on the outside edge of each eye. I like to bring it up a little bit so when I'm blending it kind of lifts that outside area of my eye. Now I'm going to go back in with my blending brush and blend that all out. I don't want to move that purple too much into the inside of my eye. I want to keep it to that outside third. So I'm just going to blend right in place. And I'll have to say these shadows are really blending out nicely. I'd forgotten how these palettes worked, and boy, it's really a nice formula. Now I'm going to take that flat brush again and dip it back into that cream color, and I'm going to run that right under my eyebrows just to highlight that area a little bit. For eyeliner, I'm going to be using the brown eyeliner from Thrive. This is a waterproof formula. It's really nice and it's an automatic pencil. So I'm going to put this right along my lash line at the top and then use this rubber tip at the end to really blend it out. Getting a straight line on my eyelids is almost impossible. It's almost like writing on tissue paper with a Sharpie. It's just not going to work out. So I'm going to put this on first and then smooth it out with the rubber tip. When I'm doing eyeliner like this, I don't like to bring it down past the end of my eyelashes. I don't want it into the corner of my eye. I just don't think that's as flattering a look. I want more of the emphasis out towards the outside corner of my eye. For foundation, I'm also pulling out an oldie but goodie. This is the L'Oreal True Match Foundation. I like this foundation. I haven't used it in a while. This is Classic Ivory N2. Might be a little bit light, so I might have to warm it up a little bit with a bronzer today. This particular foundation doesn't come with a pump or anything. You just kind of have to put it on your finger and put it over your skin. So I'm not sure that too many people are going to like that. So we need to talk. This is kind of a funny topic, but I want to touch base with you guys about this. I've had a lot of you message me or write in comments or email me asking questions about me personally, which I appreciate. I truly do. A lot of ladies have requested that I talk about my travels. You know, I just got back from 2 years of full-time travel. Some other ladies have asked me to talk about my regression therapy practice and share stories about that. Some people have asked me about my career as an illustrator, and I'm happy to talk about all of that as long as it's something useful and helpful. And I'll tell you why. Because talking about myself, it makes me feel so uncomfortable. I'm even kind of uncomfortable and nervous talking about this right now. The bottom line is that I'm happy to share about my life if I feel like it's something that's useful and helpful to you guys. I just don't want to blather on about myself. I just can't imagine that would be interesting for anybody. And by the way, this foundation is going on smoothly. It feels a little bit dry, and I think it probably feels dry in comparison to a lot of the foundations I've been using lately. So I can say that perhaps using that mattifying primer wasn't the best choice as a combination, this foundation and that mattifying primer. We'll see. Sometimes a foundation just changes, you know, after 10 or 15 minutes on your face, it oxidizes a little bit and settles in. So I'll let you know how things look in a few minutes. Okay, so back to your comments and your requests for me to talk about things. Here's what I'd like to do. If you're interested in finding out anything about me, I'm happy to share about most things. I mean, I do have some limits as far as my privacy goes, but I'm more than happy to share about things that are useful and helpful. So if there's something that you're interested in, put it in the comments down below on this video, and then I'll kind of do a chatty get ready with me down the road addressing those topics. And what I'm looking for is something that a lot of people are interested in, because I certainly don't want to bore you guys talking about things in my life when you're really here just to learn about skincare and makeup. If there's something that you want to know, put it in the comments down below. I'll go ahead and take a look and kind of assess what the interest level is on certain different topics, and I'm happy to share about it. So I hope that's helpful for you, and it'll certainly be helpful for me on how to move forward. So this foundation is looking pretty matte, It does look like it's sort of giving that polka dot thing in my nose where it's collecting in the pores a little bit. And my pores on my nose are not that big anymore. So I don't know. I would say that right now the way I'm feeling about it is just okay. My immediate reaction is I think there's a lot better foundations out there. I'm not sure if this is one that I would put into my top list of foundations. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Truly Yours concealer from Joa. My girlfriend Jeannie over at Get This Glowing, she loves this concealer and I'm trying to love it as well. It's not quite as dear to my heart as my Pretty Vulgar concealer. This is my #1 holy grail right now, but I'm really trying to love this, so I keep using it. So we just got word this week in my little area, and I live up in Northern California, right on the coast. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the ocean right now, that things are going to be opening up this Friday. And I don't know what that really means. I haven't looked at the county bulletin about it. I just heard it through some friends. So perhaps things will be getting back to somewhat normal soon. Wouldn't that be nice? Of course, now I'm going to have to lose 19 pounds or something because I certainly have been using this as an excuse to eat things I normally would not include in my diet. Based on how this concealer is looking today, I think that mattifying primer probably isn't doing me any favors. It just looks a little drier and a little patchier today, and I'm sure it's that primer because it's looked better than this in the recent past with other primers. For bronzer today, I'm going to be using the Butter Bronzer from Physicians Formula. You can see mine's been wounded. I'm liking this for the look today because this foundation is a little bit light and this bronzer has a little bit of warmth to it. So I think it's going to warm my face up and help me look a little less, I don't know, sickly. I've been thinking lately about how has this little stay-at-home thing changed me as a person and changed my perceptions about things that I appreciate and things that I want in my life. And I'm really doing a lot of personal introspection about that because it certainly has had an impact on me and an impact on how I like to spend my time. How about you? Why don't you put down in the comments down below if there's anything that you feel like you've learned about yourself that's different, that you would not have felt that way prior to this whole shutdown thing. Then I just go back in and blend that bronzer all the way in. For blush today, I'm going to be using this little palette from Wonder Beauty. This is so cute. It's called Trip for Two. Isn't that just the sweetest little palette? Really pretty kind of peachy pink blush color here and a nice highlighter. So I'm going to give that a whirl and see how it looks with this color palette I've got going on. Just going to tap my brush into this blush here and give it a little tap on the cheeks. Oh, that's such a pretty color. That's just waking everything right on up. Oh, I'm really liking that. That's pretty. I think this would be a pretty eyeshadow color if you just used it in the crease for a little accent. Maybe I'll put a little bit up there. Then just blend that in. For highlighter, I'm going to be using the Master Chrome highlighter. I just think the color is going to go so well with this look today. It's almost a peachy pink color. Here, let me put some on the back of my hand for you so you can see it. It's just the prettiest little glow. Isn't that nice? I think that this is one of the best bargains at the drugstore for a highlighter. Then just go in and blend that in. I'm going to hop off now and do my tight lining and my mascara, and I'll be right back. For tight lining, I use that same Thrive liner in the brown, and for mascara, I use this new mascara. It's Triple Shot XXL Mascara from Ciate. I'll have to say this is the first time I've used it. It really did lengthen my lashes. Can you see them there? I'm not so much sure that it volumized them. You know, mascaras change over time. There's some mascaras, the first time I use them, I don't care for them at all. And then I learned to love them. So I'll continue to use this and give you a wrap up at the end of the month on how I'm liking it. Here we have the finished look. Is the hair big enough for you? My hair is getting so long that it's getting pretty big sometimes. I can't say that there were a whole lot of winners in this look for me today. I think that this matte foundation from Makeup Forever is probably not a good choice for me with my older, mature skin. It just seems to make my skin a little bit flatter and have the products just cake up a little bit and look a little dry. I'm going to go ahead and give this True Match foundation another chance with a more dewy primer down the road. I'm not so sure that today's look is really indicative of what this foundation can do. I remember really loving it and thinking that it had a nice finish on the skin. I can't say that today. It looks a little patchy and a little dry, so probably not a good combination between these two. I want to give it a chance with another primer down the road. I think these Mad for Mattes palettes from e.l.f. are a great bargain if you're really interested in matte eyeshadows. The colors are beautiful. The formula is nice and light. It doesn't make my eyelids look heavier and more wrinkly than they already are. And I think the color selection in this palette and the other palette I own, it's more of a neutral palette, are really nice. However, that being said, I'm not so sure that this formula is really better than the Milani. And if you're going to pay $10 for this, I think you can get some of the Milani palettes on sale right now for $10. So it's kind of a give and take. If you're in love with matte shadows, I can say this is a great selection of beautiful colors. Might be a good choice for you, but still, if I had to choose between the two, I think I would go for the palettes from Milani over this one. Of course, the Butter Bronzer is just a fan favorite. This is a cult classic almost. It looks wonderful, and I think it did a good job of warming up my complexion today. The Ciate Mascara, I'm going to keep you guys posted about this. I think that my eyelashes look nice and long. I'm not so sure that they're really volumized. I'm going to see how it wears today, and then I'll continue to use it throughout the month and let you guys know what my final thoughts are. I think the Coloriche lipsticks from L'Oreal are so pretty, and I think this is just a beautiful peach color for the summer season. So if you're looking for a beautiful peach lipstick for the spring or summer months, this is such a pretty choice. This is Luminous Coral from L'Oreal. I want to thank you for joining me for this kind of chatty get ready with me, and make sure you put in the comments down below if there's anything you'd like to hear from me. I'm more than happy to share. I just want to make sure that you guys are really interested. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And if you're interested in more makeup, skincare, and style for the Over 50 woman, stop by prettyover50.com. There's a lot more great information just waiting for you there. You guys know it just tickles me when you take a few minutes out of your day to spend it with me. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Again, I'm Kimberly. This is Pretty Over 50, where we talk everything makeup, skincare, and style for the Over 50 woman. Make it a great day, wear your sunscreen, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.